Buenas tardes.
Buenas tardes.
I'm Carlos Winter, keeping law and order along the border. September 16th, this is September today, the independence being celebrated by Mexico. I was a graduate student in Mexico. I got my master's degree in history of Mexican art, and so I really feel a respect. The people of the city and the country were wonderful hosts to me. And so I really want to honor that on this day since it falls on Sunday. So last night at midnight in Mexico City, the Zocalo is pretty much the center of Mexico City. It was the ancient capital of Tenochtitlan, of the people now we call the Aztec there. And also there, the Spaniards had knocked that city down when they took over. And then since then, there's been a lot of archaeology. It was originally an island, but the water had been all filled in. And what I have here is this is referred to as the Aztec calendar. You'll see it on Mexican coins and on Mexican paper money and all over. And in Mexico City, the Anthropology Museum, if you go in there, it's a centerpiece, wonderful spotlight on it. It's a monolith. Like that. And what it features is Ulin, the fifth sun, which is in the center of this calendar. I won't go into what the calendar is all about, but it means movement. And it was during this time that the so-called conquistadors arrived also in the fifth sun. We are still in the fifth sun. When Claudia and I lived in Arizona, and she had an acquaintance at the Hopi Mesas, and there, the Hopi woman said we closed off the mesas in order to have the inauguration of the fifth sun. And fifth sun generally meaning the final sun or the completion of all life. In the celebration last night at midnight, being televised on Mexican television, there's Presidente Cardenas with his wife and other lovely ladies like that. In the palace that is facing down in the Zocalo. It's a great center, and the cathedral is there across the way, and tons of fireworks going on. And it's called El Grito, the cry for independence, So all kind of people had their versions, even televised the governor of Campeche, that's a state, and he just did a fantastic performance of El Grito, waving the flag, and just gave it full throat. Viva Mexico, Viva Mexico. The revolution was really more against the bureaucracy in Mexico City, and this was, quite late in the 19th century and went over into the 20th century. It was really against the bureaucracy, which by that time was probably an oligarchical Ladinos running the show. Many of those people then became installed in the revolutionary government. So that's pretty much, it wasn't against Spanish persons per se, but it also included the Spanish Catholic Church, which was coeval with that government. So for a while, there was a kind of a bit of a religious revolution for a while. And so I'm going to read this piece. These are notes that I took during my graduate study. The people were calling Aztec or Azteca, or called themselves the Mexica. And this is actually, the first part is from that. It's called the Lament of the Mexica. We have pounded our hands in despair against the adobe walls, for our inheritance was only a net of holes. And this is the commentary. Yet we believe that concepts such as spiritual conquest and cultural assimilation obscures the multiform expressions that articulate positions of criticality and resistance, as well as the multiplicity of cultural influences between the Mediterranean and Mexico. Importance of cultural identity is not a static construct, but flexible and dynamic when traditional ways of being and thinking are threatened, And though we may fear that we have inherited a net of holes, a foray into the mythic Aztlan reminds us of the many threads that still link us to the elders and to those distant cultures. Gracias.